This would probably be a horrible time to mention I gotta pee.
What do you say?
Really good legal hit on that quarterback. Thank you. Best job in the world.
About every game is like this, man. They're never light and easy. That's what makes it great, man. That's what makes it great.
Let's get this party started.
You ready? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. 3, 2,
0.
My name is Ryan Buckley, and I am the host and founder of Over the Line Sport. What exactly are we? What do we do? At Over the Line Sports, we discuss and we debate, we argue different sports. We try to range from everything from football to hockey to basketball to baseball. You know, every now and then we'll jump into soccer. I don't know enough about soccer to really give you a lot of detail about that. One of the things that makes us different from, you know, the different sports shows, SportsCenter, First Take, we aren't filtered. You know, we get to say exactly what we want. You know, for example, if, you know, McKinnon snipes, you know, fucking, you know, Rask, we can say that. You know, we're not held to the same sort of standards as those First Take and, like I said, SportsCenter is. A little bit, again, we go on the air every Sunday to digest and discuss what has happened in the week of sports. We'll range anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. Currently, we are doing podcasts that we post on YouTube. And one of the cool things about YouTube is we do allow comments on YouTube that we will look at. And if, you know, it's a question or, you know, a comment, we will discuss that on the next show if it, you know, makes sense. So, you know what? Right now, I am hosting alone. I will be doing everything in my power to have a guest host until I, find a permanent one. If I find a permanent one, it'll usually be every week a different host. And really, it's the best way to do it, in my opinion, because then you're not just listening to me talk about shit that, you know, maybe doesn't always make sense, or, you know, I could be the biggest homer in the world and there's no one here to stop me because, you know, I'd be talking alone. So a little bit about myself. Again, I was born and raised in Portland, Oregon. I grew up a sports fan from the time I was young. You know, kind of like I mentioned earlier, I used to watch the SportsCenters, the First Takes, but after a while it became annoying. You know, it was the same thing. It was, you know, the dick riding of LeBron. It was, you know, how good the Warriors are. It just didn't seem like there was much motivation to make a sports talk show anymore. And, you know, I thought I could do something that was not only better, but more entertaining. Because here's the thing, at the end of the day, if you're talking with, you know, your best friend about, you know, LeBron versus MJ, you're going to start getting upset. You know, there's going to be foul language involved there. And, you know, that's what I want to bring to you guys. I want to bring that nitty gritty sports show. So a little bit of a little example of what we'll, you know, be talking about. The first one, topic here, Antonio Brown was dealt to the Raiders. That was officially confirmed last night. Officially, or, you know, he was originally going to go to the Bills, but he used that little power move and said, you know, I'm not going to Buffalo, who, in my opinion, wants to go to Buffalo unless you get drafted by him. You know, shitty weather, shitty quarterback, shitty team. So, you know, he said no. So that got voided, and then he ended up getting dealt to the Raiders. One of the things that he wanted before he got dealt to Oakland was a new deal. and they have agreed to a deal that's going to make him the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. You know, in my opinion, a guy like Antonio Brown, he gives you a great skill set. He also brings a little bit of a headache. And, you know, I've always been under, you know, the opinion that once you kind of hit that 30 mark, you know, 30, 31, do you start declining in terms of your skills? You know, the receiver position is one where, you know, you always want a guy to be quick, fast, you know, great route runner. I think the route running will never stop, but, you know, as he, you know, gets older, inevitably, I don't know if the skills will decline. You know, the smart thing that Oakland did was they only gave him a 3-year deal, but we will have to see how that plays out. There's also reports that now Derek Carr is recruiting Le'Veon Bell to go to Oakland, which would make that pretty interesting. You know, you have you'd have Carr, you'd have Brown, you'd have Bell, you'd have, you know, Jordy Nelson, Jared Cook. That might be a fun offense to watch if they can all make it work, if, you know, John Gruden doesn't fuck the whole thing up. So another thing that, you know, I wanted to hit on was, you know, the Boston Bruins. They haven't lost, in, I think, almost 2 months. You know, those guys, they've had a point in every game, I believe, since January. Tuukka Rask hasn't lost in 19 games. Those guys are on fire. You know, if I'm picking a Stanley Cup winner as of right now, I think I'd probably go with Boston, you know, just because of, you know, the nitty and the gritty. And, you know, it's an aggressive team. You know, that's, I think in hockey, it's just one of those sports that, you know, being gritty helps you in a lot of ways. Good goaltending helps you in a lot of ways. So, you know, that's going to, you know, wrap it up for today. You know, I'm really excited for the viewers to, you know, listen to the first show. Again, you know, as we get more into things and as I start finding, you know, more consistent guests hosts, this is going to be a little longer. You know, I didn't want to bore the shit out of you guys by just talking and talking and talking. So, you know, come back next Sunday. You know, I'll have a guest host with me and we'll make it work. So appreciate you guys. Bye.